Welcome to this channel. Mau belajar bahasa Indonesia atau bahasa Inggris dengan cara yang seru, santai, dan mudah dipahami? You're in the right place. Belajar kosakata dan ekspresi sehari-hari. Learn daily vocabulary and expressions. Dengarkan contoh situasi nyata. Listen to real-life examples. Subscribe sekarang dan nyalakan notifikasi. Let's learn together and have fun.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're digging into some really fascinating material courtesy of the Motorcar channel. It's perfect, I think, for anyone trying to get a handle on communication in Indonesia, especially, if you're learning the language. So our mission really is to give you the tools for those everyday situations where things just, don't go quite as planned. We're looking beyond just the words here, getting into the cultural side, the practical application. It's about feeling confident when you need to speak up.
Exactly. And what's so valuable about this material is how it focuses on, real dialogue. It gives you specific vocabulary. And crucially, the grammar you need for making polite complaints. These are absolutely essential skills if you're traveling or living there. It's really a shortcut to feeling prepared.
Right. So let's unpack this with a scenario from the source. It's one I think a lot of us can relate to. Picture this. You've got a doctor's appointment at 1 p.m. You're there on time, but the clock ticks past 1.30, then 2.30, and they still haven't called your name. This is exactly what happens to Sari in this example from the Motorcar channel. Pretty common frustration, isn't it?
Oh, definitely. You can feel the impatience building.
So here's how the conversation goes. Sari starts trying to be polite, but you can hear the edge. In Indonesian, she says, "Permisi Pak, ini kartu pasien saya. Saya sudah membuat janji untuk jam siang, sekarang sudah jam 2.30 dan nama saya masih juga belum dipanggil." Which translates to, "Excuse me, sir, here is my patient ID card. I've made an appointment for 1 p.m. Now it's already 2.30 and my name still hasn't been called." And you can just feel that unspoken question hanging there. So how much longer?
The classic waiting room dilemma.
And the receptionist replies, "Mohon tunggu sebentar, saya akan periksa dulu. Maaf Mbak, sekarang Dr. Iwayan sedang melayani seorang pasien. Dan setelah ini masih ada orang pasien yang menunggu sebelum giliran Mbak." Meaning, "Please wait for a moment, I'll check. I'm sorry, miss. Right now the doctor is treating a patient. And after that, there are 2 more patients waiting before your turn."
So basically, you're still going to be waiting a while.
Exactly. And Sari's urgency really ramps up here. She pushes back quite clearly. She says, "Seharusnya Bapak memberitahu kami semua kalau kami harus menunggu selama ini. Sekarang saya harus berada di tempat lain dalam setengah jam lagi. Dan saya sangat butuh pengobatan hari ini juga." Which means, you were supposed to let all of us know if we would have to wait this long, sir. I need to be somewhere else in half an hour, and I really need the treatment today.
Wow, okay. That dialogue is just packed, isn't it? For anyone learning Indonesian, it instantly shows you need very specific words and grammar. It really hits home. How do you say what you need, express that frustration, but still do it effectively and politely in Indonesian? That's the core challenge.
Absolutely. So let's pull out some of those key words from that conversation, because these aren't just for the doctor's office, right? These are everyday essentials. What are some of the first words that really jump out from Sari's situation?
Okay, well, let's start with need and check. Sari uses butuh. That means to need. It's a verb. Pretty straightforward, like, "Saya butuh saran." I need some advice.
Okay, but to for need.
Then there's periksa, which means to check. Also a verb. The receptionist says, "Saya akan periksa dulu." I'll check first. You might hear, "Tolong periksa PR. Saya, please check my homework." It's used for checking anything, really documents your health, whatever.
Got it. Need and check. What about the actions like calling someone's name or the doctor serving the patient?
Right, so panggil is the verb to call. Sari's name hadn't been dipanggil, that's the passive form, been called. A simple example is, anak kecil itu memanggil ibunya. The kid is calling his mother.
Makes sense.
And then for to serve, we have melayani. The receptionist mentioned Dr. Iwan sedang melayani seorang pasien. Dr. Iwan is currently serving or treating a patient. It highlights that service aspect.
Okay. And then the whole business of waiting, the duration, whose turn it is, that feels critical here.
Absolutely vital. Tunggu is the verb to wait. You heard mohon tunggu sebentar. Please wait for a moment. Very common.
Right.
And linked to that is Jillian, which is a noun meaning turn. Sari was waiting for her Jillian.
Ah, Jillian. Good word.
And for how long, the duration, we have selama. It's an adverb meaning during or as long as. Like, saya akan pergi ke pantai selama liburan. I'll go to the beach during the holiday. Sari used it when complaining. Menunggu selama ini, waiting this long.
That selama really adds that emphasis on the length of time, doesn't it?
It does.
And what about when something must happen or should happen? Those feel like strong words.
They are. Harus means must. It's a mood marker, technically an adverb. Sari used it. Saya harus berada di tempat lain. I must be somewhere else. A strong obligation.
Okay.
And then lama is the adjective for long, often used with sudah, like sudah lama meaning for a long time. Example, sudah sekian lama dia belum kembali. For a long time he hasn't returned. These are really foundational words for describing these kinds of situations.
That's absolutely building blocks. But beyond just single words, Indonesian does fascinating things when you combine roots with prefixes or suffixes, or even repeat them. Let's explore that a bit, how these combinations create subtle but really important meanings, especially for handling tricky situations.
Yes, this is where it gets interesting. Let's take seharusnya. It means supposedly, or should be. It's built from the root harus, which we just saw means must, combined with the senya confix. That confix adds a sense of like the utmost or maximum level. So seharusnya literally implies optimally it must be like this, or it really should be.
Ah, okay. So it's stronger than just should.
Exactly. And it's versatile, formal, informal. You might also hear semestinya, which is similar, using the root mesti, which also means must, often interchangeable. Sari used it perfectly. Seharusnya Bapak memberitahu kami, you were supposed to let us know, or think. Seharusnya saya bawa kamera, tapi saya lupa. I should have brought my camera, but I forgot. It signals that expectation wasn't met.
That's really useful. It expresses that unmet expectation without sounding too aggressive. Now, what about uncertainty, like estimating wait times?
Right, for estimations, you use kira-kira. This adverb means roughly, approximately, more or less. It's a reduplication. You just repeat the root word kira, which means to guess. So literally guess, guess.
Ha! Guess. I like that.
Yeah. Can also mean presumption, and you can use it pretty much anywhere. You might also hear sekitar, around, about, or lebih kurang lebih, both more or less. They're similar. A good example, kira-kira ada berapa orang yang akan ikut? Approximately how many people will join?
Okay, so seharusnya for expectations and kira-kira for estimations. These are incredibly powerful tools, aren't they? Super useful for navigating those uncertain moments like waiting times or just trying to get a rough idea of something. Adds a lot of nuance.
Definitely. They allow for much more sophisticated communication.
All right, so we've got the scene, we've got the vocabulary. Now let's get to the nitty-gritty. How do you actually complain politely in Indonesian? This feels like a crucial skill, especially maybe outside big tourist hubs where expectations might be different.
It is crucial. And the number one rule in Indonesia, start politely, always. It's all about saving face, yours and theirs. So you begin with permisi, that's your formal, or pardon me.
Okay, permisi.
Or you can use mef, which means I'm sorry. This one works formally and informal.
Got it.
And if it's really casual, with friends perhaps, you might use sorry. Just like English, sorry.
Right. So politeness first. Then what? How do you actually state the problem?
After that polite opening, you could use a few standard phrases. Formally, you could say, "Saya ingin memberikan keluhan," meaning, I want to make a complaint. For example, "Permisi, saya ingin memberikan keluhan tentang makanan ini." Excuse me, I'd like to complain about this food.
Okay, that's quite direct, but still formal.
Or, more informally, "Saya mau complain," meaning, I want to complain. Like in the Merdeka example, "Sorry, saya mau complain akan kualitas barang." Sorry, I want to complain about the quality. Another really useful one, quite formal, is "Ada masalah dengan." There's a problem with dia. So, "Maaf, ada masalah dengan aki di kamar saya." Sorry, there's a problem with the AC in my room. It states the issue without immediately blaming anyone.
Those are great openings. But what about getting specific? The source had some useful patterns for explaining exactly what's wrong.
Yes. Very useful. You can use the pattern "Saya memesan formal" or "Saya pesan informal." Perfect for saying, I ordered X, but I got Y, for instance. "Saya memesan ikan gurami tetapi yang keluar ikan mas." I ordered gurami, but carp came out.
Okay, ordered versus received. Clear.
And similarly, using that word we discussed earlier, seharusnya. Tetapi formal orhaja, tapi informal. This expresses it was supposed to be X, but Y happened. Like, harusnya barang yang aku pesan sampai hari ini, tapi saya belum dapat barangnya. The item I ordered was supposed to arrive today, but I haven't got it yet.
That's really helpful for highlighting the discrepancy. Very direct, but structured. Okay, what about waiting? Like Sari's situation waiting way too long. How do you bring that up politely?
Right, for waiting times you can state the fact. Saya sudah menunggu selama usamamu, meaning I've been waiting for, example, saya sudah menunggu selama 1 jam. I've been waiting for 1 hour, just stating the duration.
Okay.
Then, to ask how much longer, formally, you can use kira-kira again. Kira-kira berapa lama lagi? Roughly how much longer? So, kira-kira berapa lama lagi saya harus menunggu? Roughly how much longer should I wait?
Very polite.
Or, still formal, but a bit more direct, "Berapa lama lagi?" How much longer? Example, "Berapa lama lagi giliran saya?" How much longer until my turn? These let you address the wait without sounding demanding.
Got it. And finally, if things aren't getting resolved and you need to push for an outcome, the source had phrases for asserting your rights, right?
Yes, for when you need a clear action or resolution. These are more assertive, but still necessary sometimes, you might say.
Saya ingin berbicara dengan atasan kamu. I need to speak with your superior. Standard escalation.
Okay.
Or, saya ingin uang saya kembali. I want my money back. Maybe add why. Karena kualitasnya kan buruk. Because of its bad quality.
Right, refunds.
For exchanges. Saya ingin tukar ini dengan yang lain baru. I'd like to exchange this with another new one. Example, karena ada goresan. Because there's a scratch.
Exchanges, okay.
Cancellations. Saya ingin membatalkan pesanan janji saya.
Order
Tingkatnya.
Maybe add, karena saya sudah menunggu terlalu lama. because I've waited too long.
Makes sense.
Need a replacement. Saya butuh penggantian. I need a replacement. Like, Syara dedian saya terima rusak because what I received was broken.
Replacement.
And finally, for compensation, maybe for damages. Saya butuh ganti rugi. I need compensation, for example. Atas kerusakan yang terjadi for the damage that occurred. These give you clear ways to state what you need if the initial polite steps don't work.
Now, this next part is a really crucial cultural insight, something that could save you, well, a lot of surprise and frustration. Consumer rights in Indonesia, particularly returns and exchanges. This is a big one.
It really is. So while Indonesia does have a Consumers Protection Foundation, the YLKI, the reality on the ground, as the motorcar material points out very clearly, is different. You will generally see signs saying no exchange and no return everywhere. Small shops, big supermarkets, it's common practice. This is a fundamental difference from many Western countries where returning something just because you changed your mind is often quite normal.
Right, so don't assume the same policies apply.
Exactly. The source notes that some department stores like Matahari, Sogo, Metro might allow an exchange, maybe within 3 days, but usually only for a different size of the exact same item. Not for a different product, and definitely not for a refund.
Only the same item, different size.
Okay. And bookstores, like Gramedia, are apparently even stricter. They might only exchange if the book itself is damaged, like missing pages. Not if you just decided you didn't want it.
Wow.
So the main takeaway here is, returns and refunds are extremely rare. Don't buy something expecting you could easily return it if you change your mind. The source even mentions that trying to exchange an item, even when technically allowed, can be difficult. Staff might seem unhappy or question you extensively. It's seen as a hassle.
That's a huge aha moment, isn't it? It completely shifts the expectation. It means when you're shopping there, you really need to be sure about your purchase before you pay. No buying on a whim.
Precisely.
And remember that phrase you'll probably see posted. Barang yang sudah dibeli tidak dapat ditukar atau dikembalikan.
Items purchased cannot be exchanged or returned. That says it all. The responsibility is very much on the buyer.
What an incredibly practical deep dive this has been. We've really unpacked that real-world scenario from the Motekar channel. We've got essential vocabulary. We've looked at how to complain politely, which is such a key skill, and gained that vital cultural insight about consumer rights. You should feel much better equipped now to handle these kinds of daily interactions, especially when things, veer off script a bit.
Definitely. And remember, knowing this stuff isn't just about memorizing words or grammar rules. Understanding these linguistic nuances and the cultural context behind them helps you connect with the bigger picture. It helps you see how things work in a different environment. It avoids misunderstandings, makes interactions smoother, and honestly, it just makes the whole experience richer. It promotes that critical thinking about communication itself.
So true. Which leaves us with a thought to ponder. The next time you find yourself navigating a different culture, maybe you're just waiting in line somewhere or buying something small, think about it. How might understanding these subtle cues, these differences in language and expectation, actually change your experience? What other seemingly small differences might have a really profound impact on how we communicate and connect when we're outside our usual comfort zone?
Something to think about.
Indeed. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. And from all of us here, thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching this video. Hopefully useful. Don't forget to like and subscribe.